Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick. With me this week is Gameface. Say hello to the people, Gameface.
Oh, hi Internet. This is the Tommy Wash Show, and I am your host, Greg Jennings.
Mixing up names there. The first episode is actually
even
online
names.
now. I haven't watched it, but I've been told not to watch it so as to not encourage Tommy to make any more.
Oh, please. You gotta give the guy some props. It gives us something to feel good about.
That man got $5 million just because he had $5 million and then he made a movie.
He got $5 million for having $5 million?
Nobody knows where he got the $5 million. He had $5 million. And then
Maybe
he made
maybe one of his parents founded Ricola.
Oh, we make movie now.
he doesn't have parents.
Ah.
No, that is not porn. That is,
Independent film. Movie film.
We make movie now. Also with us this week, you already heard him, is Teabag. Say hello to the people, Teabag.
Hi. Who's that one guy? Who is that one guy again?
Higmo.
Higmo!
Yeah,
Hi, Higmo! Hey, yeah, Higmo.
That's our one listener.
I'm gonna get a picture of Higmo.
Higmo, send us tits. Send us a picture of your tits.
I don't want to see Higmoobs.
It's a man. We're sure that it's a man.
Yeah, 'cause I said so.
Higmo,
wouldn't-
if you're not a man, I'm really sorry about this.
No.
I've never
Higmo
met
is male.
a girl who lived in her parents' basement.
But we
Well, it's 'cause
established
she lives
long
in her
ago
parents'
that
basement.
Higmo is in fact male.
I'm gonna Google search Higmo here.
Higmo, you're getting Googled. We're Googling Higmo. We're Googling you, buddy.
I'm gonna feel like crap if there really is someone out there named Higmo and he thinks he's our only listener.
He probably has no idea who we are.
We're not Higmo, and Higmo is not us.
Higmo.
Higmo's Lumber, Music, and Lodging?
Is that you, Higmo? Are you that Higmo?
You sell lumber out of your parents' basement? I don't even want to know how that works.
Does Higmo still listen? Does he still listen?
Yeah, he's our only. He's faithful.
Is he?
Yeah.
Higmo's Incorporated, Higmo Poker Stats.
Is that you, Higmo?
That's how he makes a living, is playing internet poker.
Thanks.
There you go.
Way to go, buddy. You're living the dream.
I think Robert Wenrick does that.
Oh, he's living the dream, too.
Urban Dictionary author Higmo.
Is that you, Higmo?
Wait, the dream is to be poor,
Oh.
live with your mom, and have like an ex-girlfriend that has like 2 kids.
Robert Renwick lived with his mom?
Yeah,
Apparently,
actually just down the street.
he
I knew
lives
that,
on our
but I
street.
thought-
Yeah.
He lives on our street. He could probably hear us making fun of Dean when we do.
Is
'cause
Dean
he
his
lives,
bro- Who's Dean? I never knew Dean.
Dean died.
Yeah.
and then
Dean,
he died.
Dean was a friend of mine. He was in my middle school, but I didn't know him until I was in high school. And he hung out with Rob Wenrick and Andrew. And then, like, he started, like, trying to pull me away from them because he was, like, a jealous girlfriend. And he was really weird. And he'd, like, hang out with me all day, borrow my bike to go home, and then call me when he got home because he was bored. And then he died.
Alright.
So we decided a new euphemism
Wait,
for
are you gonna
dying
tell him
is
how he died?
no.
Oh, I know how he died. He got shot.
He got shot in the
Stealing
back
beer.
stealing beer from a general store.
Yeah. Alright.
Your brother in that club, he gets infinite medal points for that.
I do feel kind of sorry for the guy. I kind of wish he was still around so I could make fun of him to his face. But
You said the other day
No,
that you
no.
wish he was still around so you could tell him that you didn't enjoy most of your friendship with him. You said
I
that
had
like
a-
2 days ago.
I had a few good times with him, and the rest of the time he just annoyed the crap out of me. I did have good times with him though.
So what are we drinking tonight?
Miller.
Nothing
It's
special.
Miller.
Miller.
Yeah, Paul got us all trashed last night. We
There you
we
go.
went out and got a bucket of KFC and a couple of 40s. And
Yep,
we
we
proceeded to
did.
drink said 40s. And then Paul gets off work at 11:30 and asks us to come join him at the White Hill Cafe for a couple pints at midnight.
What's the White Hill Cafe like? I've never been in.
It's small, it's kind of trashy, but it's also kind of cozy. It's not a bad place. I like it.
I just think that a bar fight happens there every night.
You wouldn't be surprised if it did, but I've been there enough to be fairly certain that it doesn't.
I've been there about a dozen times. I mean, once in a while you'll have a jackass who's like, looks like he's going to start a fight, but he's like the only stupid person in the bar and everyone else is ignoring him, so...
And there was like that one woman that they had to like drag her out because she was so drunk and couldn't stand up.
I don't remember. Was I there for that?
I think so.
I'm vaguely, yeah.
Just sharing about our lives, Higmo.
Yeah, we do this for the first 10 minutes of every podcast.
Exactly 10!
Well, not exactly.
Not even
At
fun.
10 minutes and 1 second, video game time.
Yeah, video game.
Video games are probably the worst part of my day, just thinking about them.
Video games are
Really?
amazing. Damn it.
Yes.
I just downloaded a Star Fox Bullet Hell shooter. It was awesome. Actually, it kind of sucked.
What's it called, in case Higmo wants to play it?
I think it's called Star Fox Danmaku.
Did you delete it?
No, I got it.
Can we play it after this?
Yeah,
You're gonna boot it up right now, aren't you?
No, I'm just gonna figure out what it's called.
Oh, okay.
How was your
it
day,
works.
Higmo?
Yeah, how
How
was
was
your
your
day,
day?
Higmo?
Higmo. If you're an
Higmo.
extremely attractive woman.
Yeah, Danmaku.
Higmo is male.
Are we positive?
Yes.
God damn it. Higmo, do you know any attractive
Higmo
women?
might turn out to be some like kooky goth girl who like goes out in public as a boy just so like she won't get hit on, and she's actually really cute, kind of like but she's like really cute but really weird, like what's her face from Beetlejuice?
Higmo, if that's the case, or you're actually a woman, or you have contact to cute women,
Hey,
let us know.
hey, don't be hating just because Higmo's been chatting on the internet with babes all day. Star Fox Danmaku, Danmaku.
There we go. Now we've talked about video games, and we're not 10 minutes in.
Dang.
Damn it. You ruined it, Alec. You're the one that brought it up. You're the one that brought that freaking thing up. Harry
Google that.
Houdini.
Houdini.
Harry, your mom, Deanie.
Shake it to the left, shake it to the right.
Shake it all night.
Yeah,
So-
like a boss.
How was your day, Josh?
It was okay. I finished up another review that should be going up when this podcast goes up, so look forward to that. I did just finish a review of Secret of Evermore. I just need to proofread it so I can post it on the website.
Did the Secret of Evermore conclude with the Battle of Evermore?
No.
Dang, I'm
Should
disappointed.
What did you do today,
Everything
Alex?
needs more Led Zeppelin, including Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin needs more Led Zeppelin. What did I do today? Took Paul to work. Was hungover. Chatted with babes on the internet.
Higmo, this is what you're missing.
Drew a car.
While
And-
chatting with babes on the internet.
Yeah, I did actually. Went to my parents' house for dinner.
What'd you have?
I had pork tenderloin with mushrooms.
Oh, that's good.
It was
Your
awesome.
family's pork tenderloin is really good.
Yeah, it
And your
is.
dad always has great mushrooms because he picks them fresh.
Ah, these are store-bought. My
Damn.
dad hasn't gone mushroom hunting for a while. Yeah, mushroom hunt. It is the sport is actually called mushroom hunting.
And his dad actually does it.
And they have handbooks and they have club meetings.
Is he part of a club?
He was. I don't know if he is anymore.
Your dad's cool.
My dad's awesome.
We made print. Your family and me. And I.
You what?
We made it into a magazine. There's a picture of us in like Mode magazine or something.
Mode? Yeah, I heard about that. What event was that?
It was during Capona.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
For everyone who's not a Harrisburg native.
There's that clip of me and Joystick standing around with cameras on that video on Cinemassacre.com.
Yeah, we
The
are on
nerd.
Cinemassacre.com.
That was cool.
Go watch that, and you'll know what they look like. Not me.
You'll have to pick us out in the crowd, though.
We're not going to tell you who we are.
They're pretty much fucking famous.
Just
The movie's
something-
pretty much the video is pretty much about us.
Just something, a note for next week. I'm I'm not going to be here, so we will not be recording a podcast. That being said,
Could you enunciate that a little more?
Podcast. Damn it, Alex. I'm sorry.
Podcast.
You really enunciated it, and it was kind of funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I will have something to post up for you guys next week, and I don't care if you listen to it or not, because it is going to sound like ass, and there's nothing I can do about that.
We could record another one during the week. The second podcast.
I'm leaving on Wednesday, so we'd have to do it tomorrow or
Tuesday. We could do it Tuesday.
Tuescast.
I'm just going to post up this old one that I've got. I think it was supposed to be episode 36. In fact, I'm going to check.
10. We're at 10:51. We're not talking about video games.
We're talking about a show about video games.
I'm going to...
Meta as fuck.
Hang on, I'm just going to check here. Episode...
Games.
Yeah, 36. It's called Fondue Set. I will just... I'm not even going to edit it. I'm just going to throw music in it and make it sound as not crappy as I possibly can. And then I'm going to post it up on the website. So you guys will have something to listen to. I don't even remember what the content of it is.
The music should suck too.
We should just do another. Ryan Graney should be in on this, and then.
Oh.
Do you want to put Rico on the podcast?
Absolutely.
Kind of.
Absolutely. That kid is so opinionated, and he
is extremely opinionated.
He
hates his leg.
Why does he hate his leg?
Haven't you seen him punch his thigh, like when he's like sitting there being awkward?
I think it's because he has such a big wiener that he can never use, or he never will use.
Dang, that's harsh and flattering.
I guess.
It's harsh and
I don't know.
Well,
He didn't. When he made those comments about Doom and how do you ever wish you could just have a game where you could say hello to people, and then he creates these RPGs
that make you want to go like reenact Doom, like in a mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. We do.
Him and his RPG Maker product made me want to punch a baby in the face, and I wasn't even the one playing it.
Yeah, you could just hear your brother getting like angrier and angrier at Ryan as he was playing through this.
Ryan, what did you do? Oh, I forget.
He didn't know anything about his RPG, and his RPG is like hard for every single wrong reason.
Let's do a podcast review of his RPG.
Let's do a Let's Play.
Ryan Graney's RPG.
Or a Rage Quit.
How much time has he put into that?
Send it into Michael from Rage Quit. Play
this. It needs to be somebody who reviews fan-made games so that fans would intentionally go out of their way to make the games terrible.
That's just people who make games. Fan-made games.
Alright, we have topics we need to get to.
Well, no, it's just I'm going to say this one thing. Haven't you ever? I mean, I'm big nerd fan. A lot of you would disagree, but I mean, do you watch a lot of his videos?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, haven't you ever you pick up on common things, like common complaints that he has? Haven't you ever just wanted to throw all of the worst things that he finds in video games into one big game, specifically tailored to tick him off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or the other comparable reviewer. Anyway,
I guess I have an idea. I want to do a reviewer thing.
I thought of that too. That's a good idea.
We should do it.
There are people that do like a Mystery Science Theater type thing on bad Let's Plays. They make fun of the Let's Player because it sucks.
That's how we should spend our weekends, Alex.
The critic reviewer or the reviewer critic.
Yeah, and then the gimmick should be we go out and do stuff, and that's our review. Like we're kayaking and doing a review, or we're climbing and doing a review.
So we're actually being active.
Right.
Yeah, let's do it. That would be our Saturday podcast.
I like that. Let's talk.
Okay, topics?
Topic.
Get to the topics.
Topics.
23-year-old Cody Andrew Kurtzinger, who was A
Oh,
member
yeah, he's a
of
good guy.
LulzSec, under the name Recursion, was arrested for his involvement in a number of high-profile attacks on the gaming industry. Furthermore, Christopher Doyen and Joseph Cavelli from Anonymous were arrested for the exact same thing, which basically means the government is finally taking in more of the people that were heavily involved in things like the PlayStation Network hack and all the shitload of smaller hacks that followed it. Because a few months ago, we reported on a bunch of them.
You know what's funny about that? Those people will be heroes for about 18 months until they realize, everybody forgets about them and they realize that their lives are already over.
Are they the people who did the PlayStation 3 attacks? Has anyone caught them?
They are part of it. All the thing said is they were part of a number of high-profile attacks on various game industry giants. I know Square Enix got hacked on a website of theirs for Deus Ex Human Revolution, and Blizzard got hit. I think the group that does City of Heroes, I think they got hit as well, and a number of other people. There was for about 4 weeks in a row, there was at least one report of someone getting hacked every single week, and it was ridiculous how many people got hit during that time period, and it was all pretty much immediately following.
What's his last name?
Which one? I named three people.
Kresinger?
Andrew, Cody?
Andrew.
Kretissinger. Kretissinger. He's from Arizona, got arrested.
I'm just looking for a picture of his face so I can laugh at it.
That might be him right next to Anonymous.
That should be looking thug.
No, that's some other guy.
Well, we have no idea what he looks like.
He looks like
this douchebag. What a jackass.
FBI arrests LulzSec hacker involved in... yeah.
That's him. Maybe wait, what if that's just the columnist?
No, come on, guys, play along. They can't tell what we're looking at.
Oh.
We could have found a picture of the guy.
He's hideous. He has three
Noses.
And one eyeball in the
Yeah.
middle of his forehead.
And he's got a unibrow. No, wait, since he only
And
has
one of the
eyebrow.
noses is above the eyeball.
I hope this isn't true.
What are we? So, Higma,
Pine for job at Department of Defense.
what are you wearing right now, Higma? So, what are we getting at with this?
Basically, that they're finally catching up to some people who did the series of attacks on the gaming industry a couple months ago, and that's a huge win for gamers everywhere, that they're finally catching these people. They've caught a few in the past, and then these three guys, altogether they've probably gotten 8 hackers total, so all the people that were involved in this hack, their days are numbered.
Go get 'em, boys! Over there! Over there!
Oh, when the Saints go over there.
I'm
When the Saints go over there.
I have no opinion on this.
That was a Simpsons reference, by the way. Homer sang that. Said the correct words to it.
I love Homer.
Thug life.
What is, they're in jail. What are we gonna do about it?
Well, hopefully they stay
Laugh
in
at
jail
'em?
for a while instead of,
Getting offered
you know what,
jobs at the
LulzSec
DoD.
or Anonymous or both. Well, maybe not LulzSec, because supposedly they actually disbanded. But you know what Anonymous is probably going to do, right?
What?
They're probably going to say, "Oh, yeah, those guys have no involvement with us."
Of course.
Can we be part of
What they
it?
Plus-
always do.
Plus, they sound like ballsack.
Can we be part of Anonymous? Because if we were
No,
to
because
declare...
people know who we are.
Well, I mean, Higmo does. I
Yeah.
guess that doesn't count. One person. Just because that one guy. Higmo.
He needs to be killed. I'm sorry, Higmo. We're not going to kill
You
you.
can't kill Higmo, that's me.
If you could send your
You're gonna
address
kill our
to...
only listener, Alex? Our one listener, and you want to kill him?
He probably just bricked himself. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person.
What's the next topic?
Okay. ID Software's upcoming game, Rage, which looks amazing, by the way, will take up 3 discs on the Xbox 360. That's massive, especially for a shooter, and it will require an 8 gigabyte installation on the PlayStation 3. And I wanted to talk about this mostly because of how they're treating consoles like computers nowadays with the installation thing. Like, if you buy a game for a console, part of the charm or whatever of the appeal of buying a game for a console is that you do not have to install it. You just pop it in and it works. That's going away. They're becoming much more and more just PCs. And the only one that's not doing that is the Wii, and the only reason the Wii is not doing that is because it doesn't have the physical capacity to do that. It doesn't have the space. In order to have the space, you probably have to attach an external hard drive to the thing or something.
Can you do that?
I don't know. I know
It'd
you
be
can.
kind of funny.
I know you can put memory sticks in it to increase the storage capacity. You can put like a 128 gig stick or whatever, and have plenty of space for Wii games and Wii saves and things like that in it. This really annoys me. Like, when I buy a game for a console, I want to pop it in and just play it. I don't want to spend the next 30 minutes installing it and then spend another 10 minutes updating it before I get a chance to play. I don't mind updates to the games, especially if it fixes, annoying bugs like they've been updating Fallout New Vegas. They've released 5 or 6 patches for it that help it run a lot smoother, which it still runs kind of crappy, but it runs a lot smoother than it used to, which speaks volumes for how bad it was at release. I don't mind that aspect of it because that's helpful, but you're kind of taking away the point of it being a console when you can't just plug it in and play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 8 gigabytes, that's...
What is this Rage game?
Rage, you know who ID Software is, right?
Yeah, they made Doom.
And Quake and Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
They are doing a large first-person shooter. It's got vehicles that is set in a large open-world wasteland. It's kind of like... Have you played Fallout?
Yes.
It's kind of like that, except
with vehicles.
Much more of a first-person shooter and with vehicles, and not really... It's not an RPG.
Do they have a movie for it? Is there a video online for it?
There's a lot of videos online for it. I think it releases later this year, and I'm really excited about it. I think it looks really good. The game, graphically, is very, very impressive. It is very gorgeous, which you'd expect from an ID Software game. Every game they do is gorgeous, like top-of-the-line gorgeous when it gets released.
Oh yeah, Doom 3. I think Doom 3 graphics still hold up.
Doom 3 had the most impressive lighting effects I had ever seen when it was released. There are some games that have surpassed it since then, but it advanced lighting effects by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
When it was brand new.
Yeah. I gotta agree with you there.
And this one, they appear to be doing impressive things with texturing. Like they had I didn't get the full details on it, but they got some kind of new texturing engine for Rage that it's just amazing how the world that they've designed. It looks a lot like Fallout, but you know how Fallout is on a 6-year-old engine, so it looks like crap.
Is it?
Dude, it's on the same engine that runs Oblivion.
I don't know. What is that?
The
I
Elder
think
Scrolls
Oblivion looks pretty good.
It's a sledgehammer.
Well, it looked good when it was brand new, but that was 5 years ago, and video games have advanced far beyond that by this point. So, the
Wow, I just
engine
realized
is-
that.
engine for it is
That used to be like
dated.
the benchmark for like heavy-duty gaming PCs
But-
was Oblivion.
most of what you're going to get to run. Most of what
How's the baseball stats coming, Josh?
my mind just went blank. I'm sorry. The biggest thing you'll notice in Oblivion is, and the two games that are also built on top of the engine, the two Fallout games, is how clunky the animation is. The animation looks like crap. There's no two ways about it. The facial expressions are very awkward because the faces are very stiff in comparison to more recent games. I mean, look at it side by side with something like L.A. Noire or the Uncharted games, and there is no comparison between the two.
I think that video game. What's the point? What are we? I think this Rage game will be fun.
It does look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I am really, really excited about it, but the 8 gigabyte install on a console pisses me off.
Well,
And
I
I don't
guess-
have a computer that'll run it.
I guess you don't have to buy it.
I don't have a computer that will run it, so if I want to play it, I have to play it on my PlayStation 3 or spend a couple of $100 upgrading my computer at some point in the future, and then have a ridiculously large install on my PC. God, that is barely picking up my voice.
Yeah,
Annoying.
it is.
So, what, if anything, do you suggest the gaming industry can do?
Well, on the
Stuff.
PlayStation 3, you have 50 gigabytes of space to play with on the disc. There is no excuse to have it installed when you have that much space to play with on your disc. You don't need it.
But how many gigs are on an Xbox disc?
The Xbox disc is probably a large portion of the problem. I'm amazed at there aren't more installs on that. At the same time, I know exactly why there aren't more installs on that.
Why not?
Well, first of all, the Xbox disc is about 9 gig. They just released an update that increases it to 10, which is like, yippee skip, another gig. That's,
10 gig, 20 gig, giggity.
which, that's still only a fifth of what Sony has on theirs right now, on their system. But the problem with installing it to a hard drive is not every 360 has one.
Oh, okay. So they have to put it all on the disc?
Yeah, there's a lot of 360s out there 360 owners out there that would have bought the cheaper option, which comes with a 4 gigabyte memory stick, which is basically only useful for saving games because of how small it is. And you cannot install games to something that small.
You
Right.
said stick.
What are you talking about,
You
Alex?
said stick.
It's a stick.
You said stick.
Okay.
Moving right along.
Yeah. Well, are we, hold on.
The minimum amount of space that on any PlayStation 3 right now is 40 gigabyte.
Okay.
Because every single one of them has a hard drive in it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them have 120 or more.
Okay.
Mine has like 320 on it or something like that.
Okay.
And because they have so much space on it, they think, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal if I put an 8 gigabyte install on this game.
Right.
It is, because if you own 10 games with 8 gigabyte installs,
But is this the first?
80 gigs of disk space.
Is this the first game with an 8?
No,
It
it's not
isn't.
even close. They've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I've never liked it.
Can you uninstall that 8 gigabyte download?
Yeah, but the problem is you can't run the game without it.
Mm.
So if you want to play the game, you have to have the 8 gigabyte installed. And if you own 10, like I said, if you own 10 games, that's 80 gigs right there.
Mm-hmm.
give or take, and that's a massive chunk of space.
Yeah.
And anybody that actually has a significant collection of games, like all of their hard drive space can be taken up by this. If you have like 16, that's half of your 320 gigabyte hard drive
Yes.
just taken by games, and that's ridiculous.
I understand your conundrum. I just downloaded Quake 2 onto my computer, and
Classic game.
classic. Very-
Big.
And it runs fine, and I really enjoy playing it.
Well, Vin Diesel once made a go-kart that ran off the hopes and dreams of African children. It went fast. Anyway,
Is there a next topic?
Yes, there is.
are we done yet?
During a recent crackdown
You
on
said
modded
crack.
consoles,
You did.
Microsoft accidentally banned a number of legitimate consoles that are not modded in any way. Oops.
You
They did
accidentally
not-
banned something.
I don't know. They didn't say how they did it. They did not say how many consoles were affected. All they said was that the people that they accidentally banned, which they shouldn't have done in the first place, would get a 3-month subscription to the gold version of Xbox Live after having their account reinstated, and would get 1,600 Microsoft points. I have no idea how many dollars 1,600 Microsoft points is. You would think 1,600 Microsoft points would be $16,
no,
but
it's
it's
like
probably
12
like
or something.
yeah, it's probably like 12. Because
I would
Microsoft
have
has
given them an internet.
because Microsoft has this retarded way of figuring out, like 80 points is like $1, or 120 points is like $1, or something stupid like that.
We can do
Yeah.
the math on this. If 16,000 points, 1,600 points is $12, then
I don't know how much it is though.
I don't know how many it is. $12 is just a random guess, but it sounds like something Microsoft would do. I know 1,600 Microsoft points is not the equivalent of $16. It's less than that because Microsoft is retarded.
I'm just waiting for the Japanese to reinvent their currency in something that actually is stronger than like the US dollar. And they'll all be like, wait, what? They're not like those little yen things? They could call it the yo. I have 2,600 yo. Oh, that's what, like $20? No, that's like 3,000.
that would be cool.
Yeah, not really. Anyway, I don't know where that came from.
Where are we going? This is not my beautiful house.
This is not my beautiful wife.
Josh is not our beautiful wife.
I think we're going to
What the
Brewster's.
fuck are you talking about?
David Byrne.
David Byrne,
I would love to go to Brewster's right now if I had monies.
but emphasize the brew.
Brewsters.
Sters.
They should carry beer at Brewster's
Yeah.
because it's called Brewster's, and it's at the Capital City Brewster Mall.
Isn't that what Andrew called it while he was drunk?
Yeah, the Capital City Brewster Mall. Anyway,
So something about modding consoles.
Yeah, the people modify consoles for a number of reasons. Quite often they modify consoles so that they can illegally play games, which is in turn why they would ban the consoles and the accounts associated with them. People will also modify consoles if it's region encoded. Then the console, that means the console, you can't import a game from Japan or Europe if it's not coming here and play it on your Xbox. You'd have to mod your console, and quite often people do that too. But you got to be careful doing that because that will still get you banned, even if you're doing it for a legitimately good reason like that. Like, oh, I want this game, but it's not coming to the United States, so I'm going to import it. Oh, crap, it won't work on my console. How do I mod this so it will? And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because I don't think people should be stealing games, modern games like that, and the first place.
No, you're right.
I strongly dislike piracy like that, and I think the companies work their asses off to make you a very good game, and you should be appreciative of that and reward them with, money. But I can understand Microsoft did this, but how do you mistake a modded console from a not modded console? If you just look at the circuitry or whatever, shouldn't they know the circuitry of every console they have and be able to tell fairly easily if it's modded or not?
Yeah.
I don't think it's the
Xbox
circuitry.
Live.
I think it's actually like firmware or something.
Well, they should be able. They should know what that looks like too. There's no reason why they should have accidentally banned legitimate consoles, because they should know exactly what legitimate consoles look like.
So
And
why don't they? As Lewis Black said, "This is hard. It makes me want to go poopy."
And now they're going to lose money on this because of their own stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of cool that they're giving away 3 months of Xbox Live and the 1,600 Microsoft points. But it's something that shouldn't have happened in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Our hearts go out to those who were banned in the modded consoles mistakes.
Okay, you remember last week we talked about Sony throwing in a terms of service agreement that seems a little fishy. They threw in a thing where it said you can't have a lawsuit against them.
Yeah.
Well, they gave a reason for that, and it has nothing to do with the hack.
Because they're tossers?
Sony gave a reason for changing the terms of service. A court case between AT&T Mobility and Conception made it legal to prevent workers from filing a class action lawsuit against AT&T. So AT&T won that battle. Sony basically said, we are going to do the same. God damn it, who the fuck is calling you?
Answer it. Hello?
Hang on, I'm going to pause this. Anyway, they saw this court case and said, so you can legally get away with that now, let's do it. But in the terms of service, it basically says that if you follow certain steps, you can get exempt from this by complaining to Sony, basically. And Giant Bomb made a template, makes it all easy for you, so you can just fill it out and get yourself exempt from this and retain your right to a class action lawsuit against Sony.
You gotta
in
fight
case-
for your right to a legal class action lawsuit.
Basically. I will give you guys a link to it on the website. First, Sony actually said that they were doing this to help the customers. But how does it help their customers that they can't file a class action lawsuit against them for any reason?
Because it makes them feel warm and fuzzy that Sony would never give them a reason to file a class action lawsuit.
So basically, Sony's bullshitting and giving you lies.
So it's like, hey, basically, we're going to take away your parachute to give you the feeling that you'll never fall.
They should.
Sony has no real reason to do this other than they don't want to get sued again. And they have been sued. Everybody's been sued in the past. Nintendo's been sued. Nintendo got sued over the technology for the Wii.
PlayStation, don't sue me, bro.
Can you, what was
No.
that lawsuit like, Josh? Can you describe that?
Basically, there was another company that had a patent for something that strongly resembled the Wiimote.
Uh-huh. And
that they had that patent before Nintendo released the Wii by a couple of years. And when they saw the Wiimote, they waited a couple of years for that to get it a lot of money, and then went, oh, by the way, we have a patent. That's exactly what they did.
Right.
And then they sued Nintendo over it. I don't know how that lawsuit turned out. I haven't heard anything about it in a
Crazy
while.
world.
But I do know that there was a full use of motion sensing console that came out before that.
As opposed to a motion sensing console that isn't full motion.
Well, you could technically say that would be the Xbox 360
Yeah, I know.
or the PlayStation 3 at this point, because both of those have motion sensing controllers, but you don't have to use them.
I love that old vendetta that Yahtzee used to have against the Wiimote. And it's like, look, I'll stop complaining when they send some magical little fairies down to fix the damn thing. Oh, great, a peripheral for the Wiimote that makes it do what it was designed to do.
I did love that. They're like, here, buy this. It makes the Wii work.
It makes the Wiimote do its job.
It is pretty sad.
I just lassoed your beer with the microphone cord.
I don't... This console, graphically, it's like a 32-bit console. It looks like the PlayStation 1 outputting 2D graphics is what it looked like.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, graphically, this console was very, very dated. You remember the guy that I showed you? He was showing off the Sega system before they did the Master System.
Yeah,
Video.
yeah.
He had a video of it on his channel on
Oh,
YouTube.
wow. Okay.
Gamester81 is his channel on YouTube, and I don't remember the name of the console.
I'm going to look that up.
That might have been the company that sued Nintendo, and they would have had good reason. Like, yeah, we had this technology before Nintendo, you know? Didn't go anywhere because our console was more dated than the PlayStation 2 when it was released, but we had it first. There's his channel right there. We do have a lawsuit to talk about as well. You guys want to get onto that?
We have 20 minutes.
Yeah, we have. It's the last topic is the lawsuit.
Let's talk for 20
Yes.
minutes about this lawsuit. What the hell?
Oh, jeez.
Freaking advertisements. Okay. Viacom has filed a lawsuit against Harmonix, who originally created Guitar Hero before selling it to EA, I think. And then they created Rock Band. And then they created Dance Central. They filed a lawsuit against Harmonix for $130 million as a response to Harmonix a couple weeks ago filing a lawsuit against Viacom for $13 million. Harmonix filed their lawsuit against Viacom because they claimed unfair business practices. Viacom, damn it, Alex, you're distracting.
Give me a second.
Time's up.
That wasn't even a second, but
Josh,
beard.
what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a little Bow Wow.
I don't know. Probably a sports announcer.
I want to be a daddy.
Did you?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
anyway,
kinda, but anyway.
Harmonix filed their lawsuit against Viacom, claiming unfair business practices. Viacom's counter lawsuit claims that Harmonix owes them a bunch of money because of a calculation error. This Viacom lawsuit sounds more like greed. I mean, $130 million to counter a $13 million lawsuit? That is a huge freaking difference in money.
They just added a zero.
That's all they did. They added a freaking zero.
That's hilarious.
And I don't know if there's any truth to Viacom's claim. I honestly don't. But to me, this sounds like, you sue us, well, I'm going to sue you back. That's what it sounds like to me. And I'm going to add a zero and sue you for a lot more.
Well, we're gonna counter sue you for 1 million, billion, million, shabadabadoo, million yen.
But yeah, this law, these two, it's like children bickering, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sue you. Well, I'm gonna sue you too.
I'm gonna
Fine,
sue you.
me. Then sue me too.
I'm gonna sue you for $1 Brazilian. Brazilian. Ah, that's funny.
I don't obviously don't know the inner workings of this that they used to be working together very closely, and Viacom bought Harmonix in about 2006, right in the middle of the plastic guitar music game craze.
Oh, yes.
Oh, those plastic guitar.
Plastic guitar
I had
music
one.
game
I had
craze.
one
Well,
on like
they
the
were
grill of my car.
Well, they were huge back then, about 5 years ago, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's what everybody wanted, was Guitar Hero and rock bands.
the mid-2000s.
It sucked a lot less than DDR.
It did,
It did. It had a lot better music than DDR.
Yeah,
and it made you feel cool, you know?
it made you feel so cool.
Like, it was those
Well,
times.
it was a fun and original
For
idea
5
that
years-
Konami originally came up with, and then
For 5 years,
Never
we
made
were
money
all
on it.
rad.
Yeah.
Here's the ultimate truth about this. Konami was the very first company to release a game like this. It was called Guitar Freaks. And It
Oh.
was put in arcades. I don't know if it was ever put on consoles. And then Harmonix saw it and said,
We're
let's
gonna do that exact same thing.
And then Harmonix put it on the PlayStation 2, and it was a massive hit. So basically, the company that came up with this idea missed out on the entire thing and then released one game in this music genre after that was a massive failure because nobody cared about it because it wasn't Guitar Hero or Rock Band.
Yeah.
Josh, do you ever think about cutting your hair?
No.
Ever? Never. You're just gonna grow it out forever?
Forever? Forever, ever?
Are you trying to break a record with it? Why? You just want to grow it out forever?
Why is it important to you the length of my hair?
It's not important. I just want to know. And I feel like this is the perfect forum for it.
Maybe I'll get it trimmed at some. At one point I had it cut to my shoulders.
Okay.
I got it cut to my shoulders a few years ago, and look how long it's grown out since.
Yeah?
Anyway, back to this. Harmonix obviously was huge, and then eventually people kind of quit caring about this kind of game. Sales dropped,
That's funny.
and Viacom
That's like the kid on that.
just kind of dumped Harmonix off on someone else just to get rid of them.
It's kind of like the kid on that Pokemon VHS tape we watched the last week, where the kid's like, well, you see, eventually they're going to be worth a lot of money someday.
From what I gather, they sold them for about $50 just to get rid of them. Even though Harmonix was worth a lot more than $50.
$50. Man, I could have
Maybe-
bought them.
Maybe that is exactly why.
I could have had Harmonix, like, on my shelf.
Maybe
Like-
that is
like the
exactly
company.
why they feel like they owe them so much money. Wait, we sold them for $50? God, that was stupid. What do we do now?
I don't know.
No,
Let's join a
sue
bowling
them
league.
for how much money they're actually worth.
Let's join a bowling league.
Doesn't that feel like exactly what they're doing with this, though? I mean,
Yep.
it's freaking stupid. Why do you sell Harmonix for that little? Okay, the games are nowhere near as popular as they used to be, but still, Harmonix is worth a lot more than that. Did you find the...
I
Found
guess
something else.
it all depends on your definition of worth, you know? Like, if something's really worth something else. Or if it's just... I don't know. I don't.
Tis a silly person.
Oh, we got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes to go. You can babble on for about 10 minutes if you want. I was really hoping that...
Babble, 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 babble.
I was really hoping that at least Tim would be here because I thought Tim would have something to say about the installation thing.
Oh, he's got something to say about everything.
Well, Tim's very opinionated, but he's very good on this podcast because of it. He's always got something to say.
Yeah, he is one of our more... He's like Ian, only less distractible.
Basically.
And he's still
And-
pretty distractible, and he plays
But I
with his
couldn't get
ears.
either one of them because they decided to be gay.
They're busy. They're
My
too
friends-
famous for us.
My friends have lives.
Not Tim. Tim?
Tim is
I think
with
Tim's
his mom
watching
pretending
this-
that he has a life.
He's watching the Steelers game with her or something, which
Was
is
his
cool.
mom? Oh,
Yeah.
That's good. Is that on right now?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't keep track of football.
It won't be by the time you listen to this webcast, though, so don't get all excited.
Yeah.
I talked to my dad earlier today, and I found out that the Bills beat the Patriots.
That's good.
Because, yeah, fuck the Patriots.
Yeah.
I talked to my dad today, and I found out that trees grow together in the forest, or something like that. I don't know.
That's interesting, too.
No, that's actually something one of our old neighbors said.
Which one, the Bumphuses?
No, not the Bumphuses. The guy, you probably, I don't know, he moved out. His wife died, like 10 years, not 10 years ago, but like maybe 8 or so years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was so old, he looked like he was like kind of on the verge himself. And
Dying. Just
he
so we're
moved
clear.
to
think I just
Florida
heard
or
the
some
call.
like some retirement center in Florida
I just heard
or
the
something.
call.
I heard the Paul too. Shut up. And then he like call or write us occasionally, and it's like, wow, he's still kicking.
That's nice of him.
But my dad planted a tree like when I was like a baby. Planted a tree in the side yard, and the guy countered by growing a tree right freaking next to it, like retardedly close. And they're just kind of out in the yard looking at each other's trees the one day, just kind of quietly with like quiet spite. And he gets the hint, and he walks back, and this guy Bob Stacy walks back inside and just goes, "Oh, trees grow together in the forest, you know."
Some people.
He's a cool. Some people just
So
wow.
basically, he was referring to your backyard as a forest?
I guess he was a cool guy, and he said Cayuga instead of Cayuga and
Hey.
kayak. Oh, you guys got a kayak?
Kayak.
Yeah, we got a
I
kayak.
wonder if he also said skay.
Salad.
Instead of
Dallas.
ska.
Salad.
Skay instead of ska.
Yeah.
What's Higmo doing?
He
Higmo,
was listening to us.
right now, is this going out live?
No. But when Higmo hears this, he will be listening to us. So
He's
I'm
just
saying
masturbating to our
right
last
now,
podcast.
Because I'm saying right now Higmo is listening to us, because when this goes online, Higmo will be listening to us, and it'll be like, oh my god, they're talking directly about me.
That's
My
all.
life is great.
That's like all I do. Higmo, you're my only friend in this world. I want you to
That's
know that.
depressing.
I don't even know you, but I feel like I know you, you know?
I'm on the internet. Whoa, radio.
That is kind of what a podcast is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they called it in the '90s.
Internet. You're on the Mexican.
What?
You never heard the song Mexican Radio?
I've heard the song Mexican Radio.
Yeah, I was like parodying that.
Well, there's a satire called Internet Radio. It came out in like 1998.
Well, that was totally satire in that song. So
Farted
don't
on
ask
this.
me what, because you're an idiot, right? Yeah.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you! I double dare you!
I figured Paul would get home while we were recording this. Thank God we closed the door. He'd probably bust in on us in the middle of the podcast again.
Well, if
Because
the
he does.
Steelers are playing, he'll probably try. Door's locked.
Yeah.
Wow, we're old.
They're in freaking Super Bowl, which is random. He says he's not that big of a football fan. My ass, he's not.
Well,
Football's
he's
alright.
from his family is from Pittsburgh, after all. They got that their Pittsburgh accent.
Where are
He
you
tried
from,
to say
Josh?
that I'm a bigger football fan than he is. Bullshit.
You don't watch football.
I rarely watch football. I care enough about football to try to find out if Oklahoma State won. And that's it. And they're 3-0, by the way. Which is pretty awesome. But
Did you go to
I
Oklahoma
care.
State, Josh?
No. I care more about college football than I do professional.
Why do you have such an attachment to Oklahoma State?
Because they're from Oklahoma.
Because my grandfather was an Oklahoma State fan.
Okay.
So, like, that was all, every summer, every winter, whatever, I'd be there and then he'd be watching Oklahoma State, so I'd cheer for them too.
Okay.
That's basically why I'm an Oklahoma State fan.
That's a good reason to be a fan of something.
I'm a Braves fan because my dad is a Braves fan.
Yeah, it's fine.
He was a Braves fan. He's a Braves fan because he was a huge fan of Hank Aaron.
Yeah, but they're from Georgia,
Georgia Braves.
Better to be
Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah,
better to be from Georgia than New York.
yeah. York sucks.
York does suck. Fuck York.
If York had a football team, it would be the Bedbugs.
They have a. I think they have a baseball team.
But if they had a football team, it would be like... I don't know.
It wouldn't be as
The
good
banana.
as the Macon Whoopie.
The Banana Slugs.
The Macon Whoopies, that's like the best hockey team name ever. Except they don't exist anymore.
Did you make your whoopies?
No, the Macon Whoopie. In Macon,
The
Georgia.
Jamaican Whoopie.
Oh.
There was a team in Macon, Georgia, a hockey team called the Whoopie.
Oh, that's cool.
And
The
their
Macon Whoopie.
mascot was a whooping crane.
Oh. Right on.
And that's funny because it's like sex.
Yeah.
Hesh wants sex.
She wants sex now.
I would have a Macon Whoopie jersey just because I think it's funny. Be like, yeah, I ordered a Macon Whoopie jersey on eBay.
I am going to make a t-shirt with, on the back it just says, The Team. And on the front is a crossed out plane. Like a plane, like, taken off from the runway with an arrow, like a cross going through it. And they're like, what's your shirt mean? It means I put the team on my back. Cross the plane.
Someone there will get it.
Yeah.
We need to order my.
Let's wrap it up.
If we can, sometime soon.
Yeah, I have to get Josh's gorilla suit.
I'm not going to be a gorilla. Your mom's going to be a gorilla.
Ow.
Oh. Betsy Coon is a saint.
Well, and then
Every
it should
single
be.
time Jason is here.
Well,
he
if that were the
tells him
case,
that
then-
his mom's hot.
Well, then it should be Betsy Kong. But I just made my mom joke, comparing her to. Never mind. Let's wrap it up before I embarrass myself more.
The person
Too
whose last
late.
name is
Kong. Yeah, like Kong. Oh! It took me a
You a
second.
little while.
Took me a second there.
Yeah. Alex.
Okay, can we wrap it up now? I'm bored.
Yeah, we can. Okay, this has been another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I have been your host, Joystick, and with me this week was Teabag. Say goodbye to the people, Teabag.
I found another way to waste time with my life.
This podcast?
Yeah, kind of.
Is that your other way of wasting time, or
Yeah.
are you talking about something else altogether?
No. It's usually Reddit, and then here's Alex.
Hey, everybody!
Yeah, say goodbye, Alex.
We're all gonna get laid!
Yeah.